So, full disclosure, I slept on Death Stranding for over a week, but I finally picked it up, tried it firsthand, and I have to say this, it is an amazing game. Now that I'm on the other side of what I consider the early game, say the first 10 to 15 hours, I thought I'd put together a video to communicate some of the things I learned in an effort to help anyone that might be considering to start playing this. One more thing, I cannot recommend enough that if you're on the fence with this game like I was a week ago, you absolutely should give it a hands-on assessment. It's definitely worth your time. Believe it. Okay, let's go over some early game tips. First, remain connected online while playing Death Stranding. The game has a unique cooperative element. It's not multiplayer in the traditional sense. You won't see other players in your world, but you can work together on larger structures. You'll also gain access to structures that other players have built, such as charging stations for your equipment and vehicles, as well as bridges that help big time when needing to traverse rougher terrains or cross rivers. In addition to those things, you may find helpful warning messages or messages of encouragement that are functional in that they can refill your stamina or temporarily boost your speed if you're in a vehicle. You can also leave messages of your own and give and receive likes to online structures and messages, which act as a kind of bonus XP in Death Stranding. Number 2, always auto-sort your loads before heading out on a delivery. Tap triangle in the cargo distribution menu, opt to auto load, and head out confident that the load has been evenly distributed. 3. When in doubt, hold L2 and R2 to keep your balance when traversing rough terrain on foot. This won't help you if you go running off the side of a mountain or try to tread water that's neck deep on the mountain from Game of Thrones, but you can pretty much do anything else as long as L2 and R2 are held down. If you try and sprint over rocks without holding L2 and R2, then you risk a fall that can damage your cargo, and nobody wants grandma's cookies delivered in crumbs. Before you acquire the means of dealing with BTs, you're going to have to rely on stealth. Your odradek scanner will face the location of the nearest BT, and its alert becomes faster the closer that BT is to you. Always crouch walk slowly through these areas and avoid bumping into a BT. You can also hold your breath with R1 while crouch walking if you get very close, but don't let your stamina run out. Use Watchtowers liberally. I don't see a lot of these built by other players in my instance, so I wonder if it's underutilized. Watchtowers are extremely helpful, and they're basically like a huge version of tapping R1 and having your odradek scanner scan the landscape. You can use Watchtowers to your advantage to mark the location of all kinds of things that are not automatically marked when an area is brought onto the chiral network. They're useful for scouting mule camps before either passing through or engaging enemies as well. When using container repair spray, you can repair several containers at once by offloading them and positioning them close together. Eventually you'll gain access to a trike. Note that you can outrun both BTs and mules when on the trike, and you can even use the trike to knock out mules, but there are some things to keep in mind. You don't want to be hit by the electric spears that mules toss, and you don't want to drive straight into a BT, so careful. And the last tip is to use the restroom in your private room. I won't spoil how you're rewarded for this, but in the early game, you'll get the in-game equivalent of pooping on the clock, so just do it. Thanks for watching the video, folks. As usual, I hope it helps some people. And if it did help, go ahead and subscribe since you've literally nothing to lose. And again, I hope some of you that are undecided on this game, give it an honest shot. Until next time.